Good afternoon. Today I'll be showing my self-care kit. The first self-care I'd like to go over is mental self-care. This is my bag. It happens to be very big, as you can tell. For my first mental self-care object, I have my rings. I have four. I don't take this one off because it's a family heirloom. My dad got me this one we got into a bit of an argument and didn't talk for a while, and he gave me the ring while we were fixing things. These two are from a person I was with for quite a long time, and I'm not going to take them off. I put my rings as one of my mental self-care objects because whenever my head gets too cluttered, I spin and play with my rings, constantly. Touching my rings helps me think and organize in my head and mind whenever I'm having to take on a new subject and my head is filled with just everything, life, work, school, everything. I think my spinning and touching and playing with my rings will be a useful skill to have and use in the social service worker field, because whenever I get into a situation where I'm gonna have to deal with a lot of stress, I have a fidget that I can do that's noticeable, but I can hide it. So it's a way of me being able to cope with situations when I don't have time to process them and I still have to keep going with work. It'll be a way to help me keep going type thing. For my second item, I have my car keys. Yes, I just got this Dumbo. He's really, really cute. I love him. This keychain is for a really close friend of my brother's that was pretty much like a brother. He committed suicide a couple years ago, and we have a ball hockey tournament for him every year because that was his sport, and we give out the bands and these and everything else. My keys are in my mental self-care for my second object because it's a reminder that I am free. That when I get stuck in my head and I just got to look and touch my keys to remind me that I'm not trapped. I may be trapped in my head, but I'm not trapped. So it just allows me to be able to calm down in a way. I don't know how this will relate to the social service worker field, but I think having that mentality that I'm not trapped will help when I'm dealing with really hard cases or helping a child and it's really affecting me, but it's not supposed it's not that it's not supposed to. It is supposed to, but you have to take a professional stance. So I feel it'll help in a way. Next I'm moving on to emotional self-care. My first object is headphones, representing listening to music. I don't really have a favorite type of music, but I usually just listen to country because I have a 2009 and I just listen to the radio. Music is in my emotional self-care because I feel like music helps me more emotionally than it would in any of the other subjects. When there's usually a song for each emotion, so you can get it out. I will definitely be using music as I further into the social service worker field because I know that music can be as a relief for some people, or as a doorway, or not even that. When I am going through so many emotions, I will just be able to help myself with listening to music. The next object I have for emotional self-care is a mirror, but it's for taking time to just sit in front of your mirror and look at yourself for that purpose. This is in my emotional self-care section because sometimes when I'm going through too many emotions at once, if I just sit in the mirror and just stare at myself, it allows me to like really know what the feelings I am feeling. Like sometimes I don't know if I'm sad or if I'm angry, and then like if I just sit in the front of the mirror and just stare at myself, I can usually figure it out pretty fast. um, I think using this as I continue into this field will be beneficial because, like, say a child literally goes through what I go through, I can help give them activities to do that can help themselves if they're comfortable with doing it. And if it works for me, it might work for somebody else. So I'm hoping that's how it goes. For my third self-care, I'm going to do spiritual. So I actually used my object last night, and it's hair dye. So I have a clump of hair somewhere that was like blonde, but it's in my spiritual self-care because once a year I usually end up dyeing my hair black, and it's always a big deal. And I don't know why, like it shouldn't be, but my family literally, not my family,